Hello everybody, welcome to the Massey Ferguson 1105 Destruction Dismantlation. Yes, it's time for us to pull this thing all apart and get it painted. Let me show you what I've done so far. So guys, if you watched the beginning video on this when I kind of introduced it to you all, yeah, the inside of this cab, now I apologize because it's dark and I can't really show you a lot, is in pretty rough shape. I did finally go through, I got all the debris out of it, all the dirt, and swept it out good. And also, if you remember, tachometer wasn't working. Well, I had the spare tachometer from my 1805, and I decided that it fit in the hole. I was going to give it a shot. It kind of works. The problem is the gear drives are different on the two, so this is almost double the RPM that it's supposed to be. But whatever, I mean, at least it gives me a needle to stare at while I'm driving, so that's good. Fuel gauge, still no idea what's going on with that because I checked it. It does have power going to it when the engine's running. The main feed wire that comes off of this tank on this side was cut, so I replaced that wire all the way up to the gauge. I still have nothing, so I'm guessing the gauge is just shot, but we'll burn that bridge at another time when we get there. Seat still looks pretty bad, but I got to get all that out of there anyway. You see how it's at kind of an angle compared to, yeah, well, something's going on in the guts and gears of that thing. When you sit in it, it just kind of wants to flop you back, and that doesn't work for me. I can't do that. So got to get the seat out of there and get that all figured out too. So I guess, guys, today my agenda is going to be to get all this off the tractor. I can't get the engine cleaned off really good with all this stuff still in the way. And, you know, if I want to do a somewhat proper paint job on this, it's all got to go anyway, so I can, yeah, today's process. All of this, gone. This rusty door, gone. Maybe the seat if I got time. This poor toolbox. This tractor's rusted out in such an unholy way. Even the toolbox is rusted through. You couldn't even put tools in here. They'd fall right through. So, yeah, that's got to go too. It ain't far from being there as the first place. So, off it goes. So, now you know what I want to do today. Let's get after it. Well, I suppose, guys, I don't think there's any bolts left in this old pig. Let's see if I can get this hood off of here. One of these projects that's a little easier with help, but, you know, whatever. What in the... What is holding me up down here? Oh, dumbass. Yeah, there we go. Oh my good Lord. Cripe, a possum might jump out of this thing and try to attack me. Some critter has made this tractor his home for a considerable amount of time, guys. Well, let me see if I can regroup and come up. Hey, this little hitch is handy right here. If I can get this. Yeah, there. Clear the radiator. Okay. There, now that I got all that out of the way, Fluffy's giving everything a good CAT scan. What do you think, kitty? Well, I know, I saw some dirt in there too. So guys, I'm gonna have to get a little, probably 6/8 cans engine degreaser. She's a little bit slippery on top. Not, I mean, considering, it's really not all that bad. But, well, the weather's still warm enough. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get some engine degreaser, get my power washer out, give that a good cleaning. Now here's what I was talking about. That is an impressive amount of critter nest in there. I'm gonna have to get rid of that. Obviously, that's gotta, you know, that's not gonna do me any good in there. So get all that stuff out the way. Get this side clean. Maybe I'll stick the pipe back on. I don't want to get any water down in there, obviously. But for the most part, this tractor's pretty clean. Now, aside from the excessive rust, I still got to get rid of, see that, ain't no point in keeping that on there. And here's the bad part. The little bolt, that pin that goes through, that baby's rusted right tight. I might just have to get a sledgehammer and just bash it off of there. I don't know, we'll find out. But next I got to get this door off of here. Should just pull right off of there with those simpleton hinges right there, but as is life, no way that's gonna go that smoothly. No way. But doesn't mean I'm not gonna try. What do you want? You want help? You goofy ass cat. Yeah, I'm talking about you. All right, let me see if I can get that door off of there. Kids, I'm not a professional, but still, don't try this at home. There we go. Better be careful. If nothing else, the glass is not broken in that yet, and I'd like to keep it. I'd like to keep it that way. And again, I don't know if I'm going to try to repair that door or just see if I can hit up a junkyard that's got one. I'll check back with you on that. Oh, well then, that's a little better, having that all down there instead of up there. So I guess at this point, I'm kind of on hold till I can go to the town and get some engine degreaser, get that cleaned off. Sounds like the weather's going to hold out for at least another day. Maybe tomorrow we'll pull this out, get it power washed. I'd like to, the first step of this tractor, I'd like to get all the silver parts silver. When I say all the silver parts, all the engine, frame, tanks. This one has red wheels. They are not going to be red wheels when I'm done. They're going to be silver wheels because that's just the way I want to do it. It's my tractor and I'll do whatever the hell I want. But I kind of want to make it like my 1155 because I like the look of that tractor. But nevertheless, so that's what's going to happen. I get my silver paint, get all the silver stuff done, engine frame, back, all the rest of that. Actually, guys, I'm surprised too. Here, look at this. There's so much odd rust in this tractor. It's like they used it as a road commission tractor back in the day or something, or maybe, I don't know, but just an unholy amount of rust. I've never seen a tractor rust this bad, but like I said, we're going to get to the bottom of it. Anything good in there, Fluffy? Nope. But anyway, so that's it for that. Let me get some engine degreaser and let's get this thing power washed. Friends, can you believe this? It's raining. Haven't seen rain in practically 48 hours, so yeah, like you need that. But on the positive side, With it raining, it means it's definitely above freezing. We got to get that tractor out of there and bring it out in the yard. I got some degreaser. Gonna get all that, what little bit of grease is on that tractor, power washed off of it so we can begin the silver paint on that. Let's do this. Good old cold start. Look at that. Guys, if ever you're going to take your girl swimming, you got to make sure she's wearing her two-piece bikini. And by that I mean everything is exposed except for the intake and exhaust. Make sure you got a string bikini too. Got to have the tie strings. Well, I hope that's good enough. Let me get my engine degreaser. I was only able to grab up 2 cans today because that's all that they had. Fortunately, this is not a real greasy tractor, so I think this is going to be just fine. Yeah, like I said, guys, mainly the only places I got any real grease is just up here. The block isn't real greasy. The frame isn't real greasy. And there's a little bit back here by the drawbar, which is perfectly acceptable. It's just how it works. Get can number 2 on here and let this thing just sit and relax for a few. That's it for number 2. It's already working pretty good, leaving an oil slick in my driveway, just what the EPA wants to hear. We'll just let that soak in for a few more minutes and get the trusty power washer out, wash all that shit off of there. Just like that, guys. I can see the valve covers again. The side of the engine's nice and clean. Hell, I can even see that hydraulic pump in there, which I couldn't see before. This side of the motor looks, no, that's rust. That's not grease. It'll be fine. She's pretty close to paint ready. I got all the rest of the mud that was kind of found on in interesting places on here. I got that stubborn, hard to get grease that usually finds its way, you know, back here in this region. A little bit of, I still got some mud right there, but I'll get that off with the air hose if it ever dries. I mean, that's the other problem, but at least for the most part, I got all the heavy stuff off of here. That's what I was really trying to do. 2 cans of brake cleaner and a Scotch-Brite pad. I'll have this thing cleaned right up nice and ready to have that silver paint shot all over it. Let's get the bikini off this thing and get her back in the shop. Now I'm going to let that warm up before I put it away. Well, there, I might have to kick the heater on in there just for about a half hour because it ain't going to dry in this weather, not anywhere. Not without a little help. Well, guys, after a few hours, that's dry. I know it still doesn't look very clean, but it's kind of deceiving because, well, it just looks like hell. But nevertheless, I still have a lot of time to spend on this with a Scotch Brite pad and some brake cleaner. So guys, I think for me, that's gonna do it for today. I got a long ways to go yet. You know, paint work is all about the prep. And if you get the bottom part prepped right, by golly, it's gonna look good when everything's all said and done. Also guys, I wanted to take a minute and from me and Fluffy and Mrs. JT and whoever else hangs out around here, Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Hope you all have a good one. Spend some time with your families and whatnot. That's what I'm going to be doing this weekend. Probably won't have a Sunday video, but you know what? After the next couple weeks, we'll get right back on track. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
I want a Massey Ferguson for Christmas. Only a Massey Ferguson will do. Please, no Kubota and no John Deere and not a New Holland, 'cause I won't like that either, 'cause only a Massey Ferguson will